Level 1. The serf. You own nothing. Not the clothes on your back, not the mud under your feet. Nothing. You're standing in a field in 1340. Your hands are cracked and bleeding. You've been pulling turnips since dawn. You were born on this manner and you'll die on this manner. That's the law. You can't leave. 3 days a week you work your lord's fields. The other 3 days you work the small strip of land he lets you farm for yourself. Your house is a one-room hut with a dirt floor. Your wife, your 4 children, and your pig all sleep in the same space. The pig is the most valuable thing you own. You grow barley, oats, and beans. Most of it goes to the Lord. Then the church takes a tithe, 10% of everything you produce. You make roughly 2 pence a day in the value of what you produce. That's about 700 pence a year, but you never see actual coins. Everything is barter. You trade labor for the right to exist on someone else's land. And the worst part is, your children will do the same thing, and their children after them. Level 2. The day laborer. You're not tied to the land. That makes you lucky. You wander from village to village looking for work. A farmer pays you a penny a day to help bring in the wheat. 14 hours, sunrise to sunset. But a penny a day is real money. In a good month, you make 25 to 30 pence. Between harvests, things get harder. Digging ditches, hauling stone, cleaning cesspits. That last one pays well because nobody else will do it. 2 pence a day to shovel human waste. You take it. After the Black Death sweeps through in 1348, everything changes. Half the workers in England are dead. Suddenly, you're valuable.
Landlords offer 3 pence a day, 4 pence, sometimes 5. The king passes the statute of laborers, saying you can't charge more than pre-plague wages. You ignore it. Everyone ignores it. For the first time in your life, you have leverage. But you're still one bad winter away from starvation. Level 3. The apprentice. You're 12 years old. Your father paid a master craftsman to take you in. For the next 7 years, this man owns your life. You sleep on the shop floor. You wake before dawn. You sweep, you fetch water, you tend the fire. If you make a mistake, you get smacked. If you make the same mistake twice, you get smacked harder. You make no money, 0. Your master gives you food, a place to sleep, and the promise that someday you'll know a trade. 7 years of free labor in exchange for a skill that will feed you for the rest of your life. You can't quit. You signed a contract. If you run, the guild will find you and drag you back. But you have something most people in medieval England will never have: a future. Level 4. The journeyman craftsman. 7 years are done. You survived. Now you're a journeyman. Maybe you're a carpenter pulling 4 to 6 pence a day. You can afford a decent house, 2 rooms, a real bed, meat twice a week. You're a member of a guild. The guild sets prices, controls quality, and limits competition. Nobody can practice your trade in this city without guild approval. It's a monopoly, and you're on the inside. If you get sick, the guild helps your family. If you die, they pay for your funeral. You're pulling in roughly 1,500 pence a year. You're not rich, but you're comfortable. You have security. You're somebody in this town. Level 5, the merchant. You buy things where they're cheap and sell them where they're expensive. That's the whole business. You started trading wool, buying fleeces from farmers, shipping them to Flanders, selling them to Flemish weavers. Now you trade in everything. Spices from the East, wine from Gascony, timber from the Baltic. You make 10,000 to 30,000 pence a year. You have a townhouse in London with glass windows. That's how people know you're rich. You lend money to the lesser nobility. You charge interest, which the church says is a sin, but you do it anyway. You just call it something else. The king needs you. He can't fund wars without merchant loans. You sit in parliament as a burgess. You're not noble by birth, but your grandson might be. Money has a way of turning into titles if you wait long enough. Level 6, the guild master. You didn't just master a trade, you mastered the system. You're the head of your guild now. You control who works in your city and who doesn't. A carpenter wants to open a shop? He needs your approval.
A weaver wants to sell cloth at market. He pays your fees first. You set the prices, you set the standards. You're pulling in 5,000 to 10,000 pence a year between your own workshop and the guild fees. You sit on the town council. When the mayor needs advice, he comes to you. You own property, multiple buildings. You have investments in merchant ventures. A ship carrying wool to Bruges has your money in it. You're not nobility. You never will be. But within the walls of this city, the nobility needs you more than you need them. Level 7, the knight. You're born into the lesser nobility. You trained from age 7, page, then squire, then knight. You were dubbed at 21. A sword on your shoulder and a set of obligations that will follow you until you die. You hold 1 or 2 manors. Each one generates 20,000 to 50,000 pence a year. Your armor costs more than most people will earn in a lifetime. A full suit of plate runs about 30,000 pence. Your warhorse costs another 20,000. You feast in your great hall, venison, swan, wine from Bordeaux. You hunt, you joust, you go to war. Ransoming captured knights can bring in a fortune. Capture a French nobleman at Crécy and you're set for years. But war can also end you. An arrow through the visor, a mace to the helmet. You're 1 battle away from glory and 1 battle away from a shallow grave in France. Level 8, the bishop. You don't carry a sword, you carry a crozier. But make no mistake, you're one of the most powerful men in England. Your diocese generates 30,000 to 100,000 pence a year, tithes from every parish, rents from church estates. You live in a palace, stone floors, painted walls, stained glass. You didn't get here through prayer alone, you got here through politics. The church isn't just a spiritual institution, it's a political machine. You sit in the House of Lords, you advise the king. If you excommunicate a man, he's cut off from God. His neighbors won't speak to him, his business collapses. That power is more terrifying than any sword. But you answer to Rome, and you answer to the crown. You're caught between 2 masters, and both will crush you if you choose the wrong side. Level 9, the baron. You hold multiple manors across several counties. Your annual income is 100,000 to 500,000 pence. You hold your lands directly from the king. You have your own court, your own laws, your own dungeons. You sit in the House of Lords. When the king calls his feudal host, you arrive with 50 knights and 200 men-at-arms. Your castle took 10 years to build and cost 250,000 pence. You eat 6 courses at dinner. You wear silk. But other barons want your land. The king might turn on you if you become too powerful. Your own vassals might rebel. Politics at this level is a knife fight in the dark. Level 10, the king. Everything belongs to you. Every acre of land, every forest, every river. England is yours by divine right. Your annual income is roughly 1.5 million pence. You live in palaces, Westminster, Windsor, the Tower of London. Your meals are spectacles, 30 dishes, roasted boar, peacock served in its own feathers, sugar sculptures shaped like castles. Men kneel before you. But here's the truth no one tells you. You're the most trapped man in England. Tax the barons too hard and they rebel. Remember what happened to King John. Fight a war and lose, and they'll put your cousin on the throne. You can't eat without a taster checking for poison. You can't marry for love. Your wife is a political alliance wrapped in a wedding dress. Your children are bargaining chips. You are the wealthiest person in the kingdom, the most powerful man for 1,000 miles in any direction. And you are completely and utterly alone. The crown is heavy, not because of the gold, because of the graves it takes to keep it on your head.